Got a pretty exciting deck here today. What's up, Spikelings? I'm everyone's favorite e-boy and trophy leader, try to be your aspiring Spike, and welcome to my Shark Typhoon. Today we're continuing our trophy hunt and our ongoing friendly feud with Principe. The friendly is in quotation marks, but it is friendly. The fun new Pox Reanimator listed modern. Can we catch and then pass the evil empire in the trophy count? Yes, but only with your help. So remember to like, sub, follow, to comment, hit the bell, buy a CFB Pro subscription, blah, yeah, all the stuff. It's just, engage with the stream. But good morning, Spikelings. So this is a black-white reanimator list. We've played a deck like this in the past, like a black-white, mid-range list without, any Grief Ephemerate, without anything else besides just the reanimator plan as its, main plan. And I played against a deck in the top 8 of the Hunter Burton. That was a black-white reanimator list. It was very different. It was playing Grief. That list was playing Grief Ephemerate. But it was doing some things that I really liked that I hadn't really considered. Specifically, it had like 2 Chalice of the Voids in the sideboard. And, I've really liked Chalice of the Void in these reanimator decks. But the issue in like in the black-based versions is like, if you play Chalice with your discard spells, it can be a bit awkward. But I actually feel like discard spells aren't that good against like the Darcy Ragavan decks in general. They're okay against Hammer Time. But I'm actually going to be against the decks where you want to play Chalice on 1. I'm going to be boarding out my discard spells and bringing in Chalice. And I'm pretty excited for that. I also like the sideboard Stoneblade package. I think that's pretty exciting. I think Kaya is really underplayed at the moment. I think that this card is like super main deckable, and this is like a pretty good home for it. Kaya also is especially nice because she exiles a lot of graveyard hate that like Soul Guide Lantern, Relic of Progenitus, gets that out of there. I don't love this hand, but I think I will keep. And then also, of course, the spicy card we're playing is Smallpox. Smallpox is a pretty powerful card, especially when combined with Flagstones of Trokair, and it's also a discard outlet for your Archon. And I feel like it overlaps with what this deck is trying to do pretty nicely. The Sanctum Prelate be a wild thing to play alongside Chalice, or the creatures too big a deal. I mean, subbing creatures too is really important. Yeah, subbing the creatures too, I feel is pretty important. It's blue-white control. Usually Priest of Fell Rites is pretty strong against blue-white. I think I want to take their opt here. This is definitely gonna be a game where we're gonna be in on Liliana of the Veil. And then, okay, that's pretty good. So now if we can stick a Priest of Fell Rites and then discard the Archon to either Thoughtseize or Liliana, we're gonna be doing pretty well. I will go ahead and just trade Priest for Prismatic Ending here, I think. But I forgot to mention this. I played 2 leagues of this deck last night. I lost playing for 5-0 both times, which obviously stinks. Wait, they let it resolve? They're not gonna Path to Exile this. Okay, they just forgot to cast the Spell Snare. And then they're gonna Prismatic Ending to get this exiled. That's fair enough. So obviously it does stink when we're in this trophy race to lose twice. Okay, let's not play around another top decked ending. It stings to lose twice in a row for 5-0, but at least as far as having like a cool deck for the stream, I'm pretty excited about this one. It's definitely doing really well. Oh no, that's really bad for us. Right, land? No, not a land. I think I want to use Liliana as the discard outlet. I could Thoughtseize myself here, but yeah, let me take the Snapcaster Mage. I know that the Spell Snare stops my Persist. And yeah, I know the Spell Snare stops the Persist, but so the Snapcaster is a bit more versatile. Yeah, I've been wanting to play Kaya for a while. Oh man, come on. Can I draw a land, please? Okay, now they're gonna start getting their living weapons down, unless we draw a land this turn. Okay, there we go. Hopefully this works. We know most of their hand doesn't stop this. Like, 3 of their cards are Spell Snare, Cauldron, Batterskull. Oh, come on. Alright, well. maybe still pull out of this. 23 lands is it? Oh, the Fran thing isn't enough lands. Liliana feels pretty medium. I agree, but like just Liliana being a discard outlet in this deck is pretty important. I'm only playing 3. I agree that Liliana is medium. At least we got the spell snare out of their hand. They discard Teferi Time Raveler over Batterskull. His Batterskull mystery card. Just need that mystery card to not be another counter spell, huh? Not gonna play around Mana Leak. Alright, resolved. They're also letting this trigger resolve, which means that they aren't gonna put either sacking their Germ token or they're not gonna put their Batterskull into play. Yeah, they're just not putting Batterskull into play. That's kind of surprising. I guess I'll go ahead and they discarded Batterskull. I guess I'll Thoughtseize them. You could have like Teferi Hero. Is it Path? The Cryptic? Counter Resto. Weird. That was not my read. Alright, this is a really important top deck. If they draw like Teferi Hero, Path to Exile, you know, they could get out of this. They do have an attack with Kaldra. They don't have an attack with Resto. Could maybe save the Thoughtseize my own Archon. They also can sack their Colonnade here if they want to. No, they needed to sack the Misty first. I feel like second Colonnade's probably pretty good here. Now, I should probably Unmarked Grave for Priest. I'm gonna grab the Mardu Triome. Do I like the Asthma Reanimator list? I think it's cool. I'm not sure that it's the best Reanimator shell, but I think it's fine. How much does the deck you play matter if I want to win? I've noticed you play a lot of different decks. Obviously, it's least part to entertain viewers, but I think if you just stuck to whatever, you get the best of trophies. Yeah. If I just stuck to, like, if I played Grixis, Dressed Down Shadow, or whatever at the time I thought was the best deck, of course I would get more trophies. But I also, like, every deck I play, I do think is competitive. You know, I'm only playing decks here that I think are interesting, that I think have a chance to be powerful and interesting and competitive, and But I don't always play what I think is the best deck, you know. But I also play tested this deck off stream, so usually when I'm playing a new deck on stream, and it's interesting and spicy like this one, you can you know feel some comfort in the fact that I play test these decks off stream, and both of my leagues last night I lost playing for 5-0. I was really impressed by the deck. The deck was feeling like really powerful and relatively consistent, and you know, the deck does, I feel, have some legs. Now, I'm not playing Ashen Rider mostly because Archon is just so much better than Ashen Rider. I mean, every time I play Reanimator, people suggest other Reanimator targets. They're all just a lot worse than Archon. Like 4 is a really good number of Reanimator targets. Just don't overthink it too much. I want to keep in these Prismatic Endings as answers to, like, Sanctifier and Vec, Rest in Peace, other Graveyard Hates. I don't think I like Kaya too much in the matchup, but that'll change if we see like 1 mana Graveyard Hate from them. Awesome, Neil. Or Leal. Awesome. Let's keep this. Back in Archon. Obviously this hand's like a little weird. We're gonna Thoughtseize. Hand's pretty good if it draws like Flagstones to go with these Smallpox. You could discard the Archon to the Smallpox, of course. Dovin's Veto, Snapcaster, Cryptic Command. Only 1 land. Let me go and take this Dovin's Veto. Some consideration Serra's Emissary main deck, depending on meta. Yeah, there is. I mean, Serra's Emissary is very good against Elementals, and then, like, Hammer Time. But, it's, like, very bad against, like, a lot of decks. Huh. So I play this, it's gonna get Antonized. Also, if I cast Smallpox here, which I want to do, I might not be able to have the castle enter untapped. Probably fine. Thank you for 2 months. Yeah, well, I know Gristlebrand, huh? An Ant, thank you for your Twitch Prime. They're floating 2 mana. I guess they're gonna play a Snapcaster Mage. Pretty fine with me. Their draw was Restoration Angel, which they discarded, which means that they are potentially going to be stuck on lands. They're going to Snapcaster Cryptic Onthanize. They currently don't have a target for their Onthanize. This deck, but Esper for 3 Fairy Drown Snapcaster. Well, I don't. That's like that list that you're referring to is like, you know, originally my list. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but I feel like that deck's fine. I like the deck. I think that this has. I think I'm a little bit more interested in this version at the moment. Smallpox in particular is a card that I'm pretty interested in. Specifically, like, I don't think, like, when I built the Esper list with the main deck Drowns, I felt like the at the time main deck Drown was really good, and now I think that main deck Drown needs a little bit more support than the Esper list has, and so instead of reworking that list, I'm playing this instead. Shadow, 3 months, appreciate you. Welcome back. Seeing Onthanize, I'm a little bit more interested in Kaya for game 3 if we end up going there. Oh wow, so that's super aggressive. So they Onthanize, their hand is now Cryptic Command 2 mystery cards. We've got another Priest, we're gonna go down to 9, then down to 5. Obviously we just draw Persist here, things get really easy. Ryu, 2 months, appreciate ya. Is this list similar to what I lost over the weekend? Not super. I mean, like, it's obviously a black-white deck, and it's playing, you know, the reanimator package. But it's not playing Grief Ephemerate. It's playing Kai in the main deck. It's, you know, there's a lot of differences too. They're trying to play around Path. I guess I just have Unmarked Grave Persist in my hand, so if they path me, I'm not that bothered, not that worried. But yeah, it's definitely inspired. Like, they're like the Sideboard Chalices. When I saw that my opponent was doing that, I realized that like you could just side out your discard spells against the 1-drop decks, and then like that's gonna end up being, I think, a solid plan in those matchups. Yeah, let me just go Unmarked Grave for another Archon here. They discarded Kitchen Finks. Then next turn we should be able to Inquisition through a discard spell. Does Grist work with Goryo's? I think so, yeah. I think so. Not a fan of one of value targets like Souls or Cling. Well, we have Priest of Fell Rites as a value target already. And I thought about playing Nether Spirit too. I think Nether Spirit's good if you don't play Priest. But unfortunately we are playing Priest as much as I love Nether Spirit. But it's like you don't really ever like get like Unmarked Grave for Souls or Unmarked Grave for Cling is not usually where you want to be. I don't think the first Cling would be bad though. I think you could play it. I don't think that you need, like, you also have like Serra's Emissary is kind of your dam. I usually keep this hand where I just discard Archon on turn 1 and then turn 3 Persist. I know it's like a little slow, but I just usually do keep this hand. Might be a little too slow against Burn, but it might not be. Our mana is like pretty painless, which is nice. Any reason I've been off Grixis Dress Down? I just played it all weekend in a paper tournament, and so I wanted to mix it up a bit. That's the only reason. I'll be probably playing it tomorrow all day. Second Eidolon, so we get hit down to 15, then we cast Archon down to 11, but then we gain 4. We have an Archon in play. I feel like we're pretty good shape. Kaya is also quite good against them. And I mentioned this. I'm not playing any fetch lands in this mana base. I feel like the mana base looks really good to me without fetch lands, and we also like can even fetch for our Triome off of Flagstones. So our mana is good. Our matchup against these red decks gets better because our land's not very painful. We do have 4 Godless Shrine though. We also have a bunch of Brutalities. Appropriate cheer icon for the deck. It's funny. So if my opponent attacks with Eidolon, do I block? I feel like I can't lose if I block. I feel like I also can't lose if I don't block, so I probably don't need to sweat it that much, huh? Do you think your budget thing in the ice dress sound can be tier 1, tier 2? I wouldn't like define it in those tiers, but the budget version I posted I think is like a super reasonable deck to take to F&M, and like you can certainly win games with it. That's kind of like the level I've designed it to be. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I wrote it's this one's not behind a paywall. You can actually, anybody can read this one, but I posted a budget version of the Thing in the Ice control deck for anybody interested in, you know, a more budget control deck in Modern. And I think it's like a totally, like, it's like $200 ish in paper at the time of writing the article. It was, at least. And wait, they had Deflecting Palm and they didn't cast it? And it's like, I think it would be totally reasonable to pick up that deck and take it to F&M. So let me cut the discard spells, bring in the chalices, bring in the extra brutalities. Smallpox is probably good. I think Liliana is probably not that good. I can probably cut an Archon, 2 Lilianas, maybe a second Archon. Maybe a Priest. Priest can be a little slow. And then for the Stoneforge plan, or maybe I just want like 2 Stoneforges and a Batter Skull. Yeah, let's do that. We can play 1 Lily. Yeah, this matchup seems really good. I feel like this is a hand we'll lose with, honestly. Probably fine to keep. Is it posted in the Discord, Stream Decker? No, but it's, I retweeted it yesterday, and the list is totally free on Channel Fireball. It's not behind CFB Pro, so. Definite mall? I mean, it's not a definite mall. Yeah, I was worried about that for sure. We do have answers to this, of course. Thank you, Dursty. Yeah, why need Luris when you have Rest in Peace? Luris isn't going to do anything. Down to 16. Alright, not a bad draw. Did I try Bone Shards? I haven't. I think Bone Shards kind of sucks, honestly. Like, you only have 4 cards in the deck that are good to discard. I think you have to have like close to 6, 7 for you to really want to put Bone Shards in your deck, in my opinion. And it's like, it's obviously good when you get to discard Archon and your opponent, like, but it's like you only have like this nut draw when your opponent plays a turn 1 creature, you have Bone Shards, then you have Persist in your hand for Archon. It just like doesn't happen that often, and it's also bad with my Chalice sideboard plan. Can I talk about why I'm off Unburial Rites? Yeah, I'm playing Priest of the Fell Rites instead. So I feel like if I have Priest in the deck, I don't need to play Rites. I know that Rites is like a 4 mana target, but it's just like very, very similar effect, and I think it's just unnecessary if you're on Priest. So Chalice on 2 is pretty pretty bad for me if that's in play, but it's also pretty bad for the burn opponent to have Chalice on 1 and 2 in play. I could maybe even theoretically Ultimate Liliana on myself at some point and sack a Chalice. Skullcracked me down to 7. Yeah, I feel like I'm probably gonna be forced to Chalice on 2. Thank you, Hayon. Appreciate ya. Okay, well now we can Prismatic Ending Rest in Peace. So if we Prismatic Ending Rest in Peace, cast Unmarked Grave, we are going to lose to Boros Charm plus other 2 mana burn spell. My opponent's already cast 1 Boros Charm and they didn't cast 1 last turn. They would have cast it last turn if they had it, right? Chalice on 2 seems the safe play. I mean, it's the safe play, but it's also true that if I Chalice on 2, I just like lock up my entire hand, or most of it. And I feel like it's very unlikely for us to die next turn. I should say that too. Although they could also have another Rest in Peace in their hand. Yeah, I know they Skullcracked last turn. They would have cast Boros Charm instead of Skullcrack last turn if they had it. But I think, can they even win with Chalice on 2? I mean, they have Rift Bolt. Yeah, they have Rift Bolt. They have Skewer. Like, yeah. Like, even if they have Boros Charm, Chalice on 2 probably loses anyways. Yeah, it's like this line, like both lines are bad against Boros Charm because both lines just lose to one. Like both lines, I think, lose to Boros Charm. So I think this is the better line with that in mind. Yeah, so they cast another Skullcrack here, which probably means they have a third one if they're not going to save it for next turn with Archon. Well, we've chosen our lot in life, though. Yeah, they'll have messed up pretty bad if they don't have a third Skullcrack. They don't have a third Skullcrack. Yeah, I think they messed up super bad then. They might have Deflecting Palm. They might have Deflecting Palm, so we can Chalice on 2 to play around it. Just concede. 2-0-4-0. Again, I played 2 leagues of this deck last night. I lost playing for 5-0 both times, which obviously hurts really bad, but I just needed another trophy yesterday. But I think it's really good, at least as far as I've got a cool new brew for the stream, you know? I think I'm gonna play Flagstones on 1 in case I draw Smallpox. That list is pretty different. Where they're playing the Grief for Fibrate list. I'm playing Smallpox as like our plan B. I'm main decking Kaya. They had one on their sideboard. A 10 pack from Tomaz. That's crazy. And then we also have a Bad Beat Story from Arcbound. Oh, come on! You've got to be kidding me. You want to hear a Bad Beat story from this weekend? Well, on my top 8 match. Okay. In my top 8 match, I was finally kind of stabilized. My opponent had Liliana the Veil in play, and I went Luris. I got back Ragavan to sack to the Liliana, and then they were top decking too. Then they top decked exactly Kaya, which is just like already the best card in the deck against me. And then they got to exile Ragavan, Liliana minus, and then I drew like Thoughtseize land or something like that. And turns out the Kaya was a 1-of in their sideboard, so I didn't advance past top 8, unfortunately. Thank you so much for the 10 pack, dude. This is crazy. Yeah. I lost to the 1 of Kaya in the sideboard in both games, which was rough. Right, Archon's pretty good against them. I did beat E-Tron yesterday in my playtesting. Serum powder? It's kind of weird. I think I'll go ahead and put another Archon in the graveyard. Or no, let me put Priest. Yeah, I'll put Priest in case they kill this Archon. Because they shouldn't have, like, we already got rid of their relic. They probably don't have any more main deck graveyard hate. They do get Tron here though. We see a Sultai, Rodus Rex, Shark Typhoon deck by Spike. I mean, I think Teamer is better. I've been playing a lot of Teamer. Teamer that deck. Okay, something weird's happening. This Dice Factory. Yeah, with main deck bridge. I can Prismatic Ending this, but I need to get my Mardu Triome first. Come on. Yeah, oh yeah, it's the prison deck. Yeah, I'm probably kind of cold to this list. Kaya's maybe fine. They got their relic back. Liliana also, like, you know, theoretically can ultimate, but the card can just, you know, stop it. So we're probably dead. Yeah, I've seen Wafu's blue-white list. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, we can actually kill Karn if we can edict our own Archon next turn. But I mean, my opponent just gets done tap. They'll have relic up. It's just not gonna happen. About adding Dreadhorde Arcanist to my budget modern to be your thing instead of Snapcaster making Grixis. Well, making it Grixis makes it not budget, as you like the Grixis mana base is like almost impossible to build on a budget. Dreadhorde Arcanist is also not a good modern card. That card, in my opinion, is just not good at modern. I've played it a decent amount. I've never been impressed by it. Oh no, they've punted, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, I've never been impressed by Dreadhorde Arcanist, and it's just like, it also, like, the whole point of the deck is to be a budget variant, and like splat 3-color mana bases in modern are really, really hard to do well on the budget, but 2-color mana bases are fine. Minus their Karn again. I mean, I can also just attack Karn with Priest, maybe. You get a Walking Ballista. There's the idea that they are going to kill my Priest. That shouldn't matter, though. Oh, the Flagstones is actually really nice, because now I can draw Prismatic Ending. So let me go Edict myself. Back this. Back Archon. If they kill Liliana in response, they lose their Karn, so they're probably just ping it once. I mean, maybe they're fine losing the Karn. Seems to be the case. And we got another Liliana, which is pretty good. Yeah, we could get out of this. They discarded Mystic Forge though, so they definitely have another Mystic Forge. But we can Archon again next turn with the Unearth. They discard a Karn, yeah. So their last card has to be like a ton of gas, unfortunately. Another Karn. Let's see what they get. No, they had another Karn in their hand, so I think it was a conscious decision to just like let the Karn die. I'm honestly more scared of Mystic Forge than I would be Karn in this spot. They get a coding, so they can coding the Liliana. If we draw Prismatic Ending, though, we can Prismatic Ending the bridge, because we have the Mardu Triome now. We have 3 left in the deck. What's this? Chalice on 2. Okay. Well, Chalice is pretty good here. Another Priest of Fell Rites. Gets countered by Chalice. So now if they kill my Triome, I lose, probably. Instead they're minusing. You get a Crucible of Worlds? I think they thought the Saga was still in their graveyard. Yeah, but it got exiled earlier. So now we have one more turn to draw Prismatic Ending. Unmarked Grave. Okay, so I can put a Priest. Oh no! Right. Okay, never mind then. I guess I'll just go and put the Priest in the yard. I feel about Blue-Black Thing or just Sky Murktide if you wanted to play control in the current meta. I think both are fine. Both are like totally reasonable. Okay, so they're still gonna be messing with my Liliana, which is great for me. I just have more windows to draw Prismatic Ending. Yeah, I'm 2 mana short of casting that, unfortunately. I can't discard it because they're targeting my Lily. Could maybe draw another discard outlet for it. Big draw step. There we go! Let's go, dude. Let's go. What a game. And we get to get them Hellbent, too. And we get to cast Smallpox, which I guess doesn't really matter that much, but... Yeah, they'll do their extra tower. Could do something. Oh, right. I keep forgetting about the Chalice. I keep forgetting about the Chalice. That's fine. We can just Prismatic or Priest back our Archon even if they find another bridge. Let's go! What a game, man. Oh, that looks so bad. They had turn 1 Relic of Progenitus this game. Let's go, dude. Okay, so I probably want the Stone Forges. I like the Kai. I like the Katakis, of course. Got the Brutality. White Trim on Archon. How do I fit the Stone Forges in this matchup? Because I want the discard spells. I want the Prismatic Endings. Yeah, I got the Brutality. Maybe I just want 2 Stone Forges and a Cauldron. I don't really want to Battle Skull that badly. You ever panic when you see Prismatic for 3 and X equals 2? Yeah, I do. Whenever someone in chat says X equals Prismatic Ending, my mind always goes blank. Really? Kaya's good against, it can beat them through Bridge, it exiles their 1 mana Graveyard Hate. Yeah, it's good against this, my opponent's deck. They have a lot of deck cards that Kaya exiles, and specifically like Graveyard Hate. All their Graveyard Hate Kaya exiles, which is important. Yeah, Kaya answers their relics, if they play Tormod's Crypt, Lantern, all of that stuff. And it also answers their chalices, can answer Grafdigger's Cage, can also kill them through Bridge. Yeah. Cut the Pox. I feel like Pox is good though. Yeah, maybe that's just we do cut the Pox plan in this matchup if we're gonna bring in all these other creatures. That's probably just how we have to do it. What do you think was the best play? Was to finish you off? Where you ended it there? If they had just killed my Mardu Triome, I couldn't win. I think. My lucky Kataki for so far. Yeah, Kataki's a great sideboard card in general. It's great against Hammer Time. It's great against the food decks. I've been impressed by it. Are there any high impact cards? IOK? Yeah, their Graveyard Hate gets hit by IOK. Their Chalices get hit by IOK. My opponent's deck is a prison deck. They main deck in Snaring Bridge too, which I want to IOK. Their deck is not, it's not E-Tron, it's not Greentron, it's a bit different. It's pretty cool. Is Kaya Orzhov Usurper the most underplayed card in Legacy? Well, I'm not sure about Legacy, but it's also a pretty underplayed card in Modern at the moment. Is this deck expensive? Probably not that much compared to other decks. There's like Liliana and Urborg are like kind of like Liliana is like annoyingly expensive for how like just not good the card is in Modern. Like it's maybe like the weakest card in the deck, but I think it's a good role player being a discard outlet. But it's also I think the most expensive card in the deck because everybody loves Lily. But I do think it's like probably the weakest card in the deck. It's fine though. It's totally fine. My opponent's on the play. Yeah, if you type !deck in chat, Rico, pop up. Although I don't. Why is it it just hasn't been working for like 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, like it doesn't post the actual link to the list. Does anybody know what's going on with this? I just switched to Cardboard Live. Yeah, that's true. The Stoneforge, yeah, the Stoneforge challenges, those are pretty expensive too. That's right. I guess we're going to 5. Keep, I guess. Opponent kept 7. I guess I set it out the Smallpox, so. I like the Jeskai Murktide deck a lot. Do you have any strong opinions on the version that's that plays Asmo and Urza Saga? I don't have any strong opinions on it, no, but I do feel like that deck is playable. Needle. Probably naming Lily. Kataki might be a good draw of this game. They do name Lily. Jacob the Mighty, thank you for the 2 months. Yeah, I'm really happy to have top 8 in this tournament over the weekend. This is a big tournament. Other ending's fine, hopefully. Yeah, their Saga's kind of scary. Also, I'm not sure what Basic Island's doing here. This might be like a Void Mirror card. Maybe why don't you play Urborg? Okay, so they didn't name Priest, so we should be able to Archon next turn. I only have 2 Lily, Priest, 1 Brutality. You could do that, yeah, that'd be probably fine. Lily's like, I might play like a 3rd Kaya in the main deck maybe, or like 1 Lingering Souls instead. You could play a Bone Shards over the 2nd Brutality. I mean, I think I obviously I think that this is the best way to do it, is this amount of Lilianas, but Liliana I do think is you know, you could replace it with other cards if you just don't want to buy them. Thank you for your 2 months, Duin. Appreciate ya. Glad you like the stream. So they could have Aether Spellbomb in their deck, actually. They have the island in their hand. I doubt they have Aether Spellbomb, though. I'd be pretty surprised by it. Their deck's like almost all colorless. Do you like this deck better than Esper Reanimator? At the moment, yeah. Like the problem with Esper Reanimator is like, oh, they have Tron. Okay. My issue with Esper Reanimator at the moment is I'm not of the opinion that you want to play. Sorry, I lose my train of thought. It's not. I don't think that you want to play main deck Drown without any enablers for it at the moment. Last card is going to be Inventor's Fair, which will let them grab a and then Snaring Bridge and play it this turn. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and Priest here. Just set up for another Archon next turn. We cut them off Metalcraft. Well, if we exile the Construct, then they can just not sack the map and keep Metalcraft, right? But maybe they don't play around it. I think the Smallpox Liliana package is better than Grief Ephemerate. I do, yeah. I don't really think Grief Ephemerate's very good. I do think it does overlap with it does overlap somewhat with the game plan, but I'm not a big believer in it, honestly. How was Priest felt? The ability to tap and the creature seem fragile. Is the effect just that good? I mean, I think it's like the next best reanimation spell after Persist. It's also very good against counterspell decks because they can't counter the Unearth. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let me Thoughtseize first, I think. Okay, so we get their last card out of their hand. We put them to 5. Draw a card. Another Archon, which you can maybe discard, and then Unearth Priest. Also, we have a Mardu Triome in the deck. I'm not playing any fetch lands, but I am playing Flagstones. Like, you know, it's gonna be kind of hard to get the Mardu Triome this game, I think. Chalice on 3. Well, I guess I just can ensnaring Prismatic Ending. But they already have a Needle naming Lily. Yeah, this also unlocks Kaya, so I guess I'll just cast this. You can cast Priz for 4 CMC. I know, yeah, I know, but like this, you know, turns off my Kayas too, which is, you know, a way we could win this game. Okay, so here we can go Liliana, can't plus it this turn, but next turn we can Prismatic Ending this Needle, then Persist the Archon, and then next turn if we can hit 2 lands, we can go Oh, Inventor's Fair. What is this gonna get? Mystic Forge? Another bridge? Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna burn them out here, I think. Didn't find one land, but next turn we could Edict an Archon and then priest it, but we need to hit runner land. That's one land. That's one land. It's also true that the Liliana ultimates, you know, maybe going to be relevant this game. They just drew lands, so they're dead to an untapped land off the top or persist. Cool. So we're off to a 3-0 start. Have not lost a single game yet. Archon is broke, man. Not lost a single game. It's bad if Yindrik has a turn 1 monkey. I'm gonna keep this though. We have we need another black source to go with the Smallpox here, but we can go like turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Grave, turn 3 Pox. Wait, you place the Chalice in the sideboard for the pores? I mean, you kind of have to build the whole deck differently because like you probably play like more 1-mana spells in general, right? Yeah, this hand was super cold to monkey on the draw here. I think the Super Gen deck's fine, yeah. I think Esper could be viable with Hall of the Storm Giants to win Con into the Big Taff. I think for Esper you probably have to just main deck Chalice and then Teferi's stronger because you're more resilient to Unholy Heat. Wow, gets Cling to Dust. That's brutal for us. I can snap Cling to Dust on my Archon maybe. And Ragavan's so stupid good. Draw an untapped black source, then all of a sudden we do get to go Pox, sack Flagstones, Pox, sack Flagstones. Liliana, ugh. Consider Priest more controlling us for reanimator list. No, I think that like for you to play Priest, you need to play 4 main deck Archons. They don't sack it though. They're holding up Cling. I'm assuming they could have Drown. I'm hoping this is just them holding up Snap Cling. They can go Snap Cling, sack the Snapcaster Mage instead of the Ragavan. Why only one copy of Urborg? Do you not want to draw it regularly? Well, Urborg has diminishing returns, of course, because it's legendary, and I have 4 copies of the Black-White Filter land to basically do the same thing Urborg does, but that card's not legendary, so I basically have 5 Urborgs in the deck. I've always felt like these decks should play. I've always felt like these decks should play. Four black-white filter lands before they play the second copy of Urborg. It's just kind of silly that that's not the case. Urborg helps your opponents out like a decent amount of the time too. And the black-white filter land is basically the same card, you know. I know that Urborg lets you play a turn 1 discard spell, but you ever draw 2 Urborgs before? It's really bad. Persist. They can persist their Snapcaster, but it just dies. It has Unholy Heat. They do persist Snapcaster Mage. They're going to target Iteration. Cool. They've already played their land this turn, though. Do you need lilies? Yeah, I don't think you need lilies for the deck. The card is... It certainly feels like a flex spot to me. I do think it's good to play Lily, though. Maybe I could have Smallpox this turn. I kind of want to get Lily down, though. They're attacking me. And they found Thoughtseize for my Smallpox. Because they also have Heat for the Liliana. Okay, but now I can go... I can't activate Castle this turn, unfortunately, but I'm just going to take the monkey. Three Urborg and 1 Heath for sure. I guess we could just agree to disagree. We can for sure agree to disagree. I'm just gonna castle. I know that they have Drown in their hand here. It has, my opponent's hand is Drown, Lightning Bolt, right? Or did they use this bolt already? Just gonna wait. I'm not gonna activate the castle, I think. They shock. Oh no. Oh no. I should have kept more up with this. Seal of removal. Okay, so I need to draw exactly Inquisition of Kozilek. Or I guess Prismatic Ending could buy me some time. Kind of a sad way for this to end. Jared, 2 months, welcome back. Appreciate ya. Yes, they just drown this and we lose. Alright, not much to be done. High is very good against them. Chalice is very good against them. I'm also playing the Brutalities. This has been my like plan for this matchup. Yeah, Ragavan was brutal. Will I catch Prince? Hopefully. I lost playing for 5-0 twice with this deck last night. Played only 2 leagues with it. So I could be right on his tails if both of those had gone my way. Is Dress Down Shadow better than... yeah, I think Dress Down Shadow's the best Ragavan Lurrus deck at the moment. I think that this version's fine too, Yindrik's version. Rudiku, 1 year. Happy anniversary, dude. Well. Who's finally coming around to Smallpox? Yeah. That's me. Yindrik does usually play Kolaghan's Command. Might have cited some out though against the Reanimator deck. Kaya should probably resolve here. Can't really have much. Would Surgical hurt the most in this deck? Yeah, Surgical is really hard to beat, but not really many decks play Surgical these days. Crap, thank you for your 6-month resub. Appreciate you too. Alright, it has to go to discard. I'm just gonna play a second Chalice. I know that Yindrik usually plays Kolaghan's Commands. Got some time here. I think I'm gonna be probably playing the Shadow deck tomorrow some, but I like the 75 that I've been playing. I'm off to just unthinking this. No, we'll play that deck again too. I just want to want to keep moving forward, keep doing new stuff. Alright, so I'm going to play around Drowned Lock by starting to exile cards in my own graveyard here. Maybe I should have been doing that a bit more aggressively. Cool. Was a Sideboard guy for his Shadow on Discord? I wrote one for Channel Fireball. So if you want one, you can get a CFP Pro subscription and do it there. I can't double dip on the content, unfortunately. No, I did a budget brew actually. I know I don't usually do one, but I thought it'd be I did one for I wrote one for CFB, a budget thing in the Ice Control deck. Remember the new glasses? These are also new. These are the old ones. I should probably throw them away, but they've got the tape on the side. I got 2 pairs. I feel like this one was better with the sweatshirt than the other one. Thoughts on the reanimator list of the grief? Yeah, that's what I lost to in the top 8. I feel like this is better. I feel like the smallpoxes are really good. Ugh, this hand's just not keepable. What do you mean you cannot put on CFB? You can and should put somewhere else to grab? Yeah, Channel Fireball is paying me to write articles and make content for them. So if I'm also just selling the same content by putting it behind a sub paywall on my Discord or giving it away for free, that's just super unethical. Maybe just not a hand I should keep with Smallpox, actually. Yeah, it's like really unethical if I sell the same content to my subscribers behind a paywall. Really happy to draw the Castle Locthwain. I didn't know sub-customization was budget. No, I posted a budget version of the Thing in the Ice control deck I've been playing alongside the one that I would recommend playing as a non-budget version. But I got it down to like $200, and I feel like the version I posted is totally capable of like doing fine at FNM, you know? Totally fine. Exile's on Holy Heat isn't going to be able to use it, unfortunately. Okay, would love to draw Kaya. Kaya's best draw. Bit worried about Luris if I cast this Brutality. I'm also a bit worried about Dash Ragavan, so I think I'm just gonna pass. Does the priest feel better than Burial? Yes and no. In this deck, yes. In the Esper list, I think Burial is better. They do pretty different things. Finds a Thoughtseize. Yeah, the discard's not super strong against my castle, at least. Right, Kaya, easily the best draw. Can unearth this and just hit him for 2. Third iteration, brutal. Guess their first one wasn't that good, huh? I don't know, Doctor. Didn't tell you. Okay, so we can Prismatic Ending, the Lantern. They might counter this, we'll see. I think I like playing the lands too, because we have all these Archons in the deck that we can draw into. And we're very close to hard casting at this point. Kolaghan's Command? Cling to Dust. 3 more, it's a lot of life to lose, but that's what we're doing. Now we have enough lands to hardcast an Archon. Probably not castling for 4 life here. Oh, no. Damn it. That's just so good here. Yeah, I think I just need to find something here. Super flooded, unfortunately. And Ginger has a ton of mana. Probably dead. I guess there's not. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, if we draw, we die. All right. I think Archon probably can't be. Oh, man. This stinks, man. What a way to go out. What a way to go out. Yeah, we have Smallpox Flagstones. Sorry about the lawnmower chat. Is this the mirror? If I lose the bet, I have to give 200 subs, which is $1,000, but Twitch keeps half, so a $500 bet. I'll play to drawing another Smallpox. Okay, it's not the mirror. Maybe Doom's Asthma version. And land not great. Did I say Demir? Yeah, obviously Orzhov. Alright, Unmarked Grave off the top. Oh, wrong one. Dalton, 27 months. Yeah, this is definitely your kind of deck, dude. No, we beat E-Tron. We lost to Yendrick on Grixis Luris control. Flooded out super bad game 3. Well, hello, Kaya. Yeah, we did beat the prison deck. We 2-0'd the prison deck. It's okay, we got a long stream today. I think this deck's good too. They discard Persist, wow. Gonna get a third cookbook. Sims, 3 months, appreciate ya. If Twitch runs September, I might be able to break even, yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. Another Saga means our Kai is dying, but if we can draw exactly Unmarked Grave, we've got a chance, I think. Okay. We did multiply this game. And they took my Smallpox Thoughtseize. It's very rude. Yeah, we're like super alive in this bet. Oh, they have Archon. Yeah, we're super alive in this bet. Definitely behind. Definitely have a hard opponent, but I believe. Yeah, I've got that sweet, sweet hopium. Yeah, Emissary is kind of soft against Archon. Probably don't want that one. Liliana seems pretty bad in this matchup. Maybe I'll play 1 over the first Brutality though. No, Brutality's fine. They've got targets for it. I'll just play 1. I think. Is this Sideboard Tech 4? Yeah, a lot of times so people are gonna be like playing a lot of graveyard hate against you post boards. You can just bring in the Stone Forges. They're a little bit of a juke. You know, people are going to be siding out a lot of their spot removal against you. So you bring them in a lot, but just not in every matchup. I don't think this is a matchup for them. This hand is really spicy. If we draw 1 land, we can go Smallpox into Persist, the Archon. Also, Kataki's very good against them, but it's a bit awkward to Kataki before Smallpox. Archon targets the opponent? Oh, okay, so we should have brought in the Emissary then. I always feel like it's each opponent. Been taking Thoughtseize. Smallpox is kind of good against Saga. If they play Saga on turn 2, then they just can't activate it. Good draw for our opponent. So I can Smallpox here. And then as soon as I draw a land, I get to Persist. I think instead I'll just go in and Inquisition their Vindicate, and then we can make a more informed decision. And if they play Saga, all of a sudden Smallpox is, again, good against Saga, because they either sack their Saga or they're not going to be able to activate it. And we did draw the land, so now we can go Smallpox, discard Archon, sack Fetid Heath. No, I don't want to play the Kataki when I have the Smallpox in my hand, and my Smallpox is the discard outlet for Persist. They just sack the Saga, which makes sense. And they discard Marsh Flats. Another Saga. Gary, thank you for your 7-month resubs. Nice of you. I'm back. Alright. Yeah, so let's bring in the Serra. I mean, they have Vindicate in their deck, though. Yeah, never mind. Back. Well, we have a very similar hand. Very good one. So I should not push f6. I'm not sure what they could have done differently there. Also not sure what I'm leading on. Well, Grief pitching Asmo. I didn't realize their deck played Grieve. In Switch deck support and Stoneforge. A lot of different decks. Like basically decks I feel like are gonna be light on removal and heavy on graveyard hate post board. So like mirror matches, Tron decks. A few others. Kind of a versatile sideboard card in general. I bring it in against elementals, I think. College is kind of good against them. So they probably have to take my Smallpox, right? Yeah. The next turn we can go Thoughtseize or Archon and Persist. I am still fleshing out the sideboard. Maybe that's not going to be our game plan forever. East? Well, obviously we get got pretty hard if they have a Unmarked Grave in their hand. You could draw another Persist. Yeah, they're not immediately discarding like the non-Unmarked Grave cards, so maybe we're gonna be fine. They do discard. Oh, they discard Archon. Yeah, that also gets us pretty good. Pretty good. And they have a spell bomb. Okay, so we probably lose this game. Pretty good one. I might as well cast this first, but doesn't do too much against the spell bomb though. So I get, pretty cold to another Persist. Just making them use the spell bomb is fine, I guess. Usually I have a Rites. If I play Priest of the Fell Rites, I don't usually play Unburial Rites as an Unmarked Grave target. But if I'm not playing Priest in these reanimator decks, I do play the Rites, so it's usually one or the other. Cookbook, get back Daredevil, sure. I got a lot of rebuilding to do, but we're still in this game. Their top decks are probably better on average than mine, but I could draw Kaya would be like a really absurd top deck. They're also 2 mana away from getting their Priest back and getting an Archon. Vindicate my Triome, that's fine. Position them. They discard Unmarked Grave, it's funny. We play a control deck, which Ragavan does Rabble Master. Yeah, I've sideboarded Ragavan in some control decks. The problem kind of is though that like people like be leaving in a lot of their removal against you. Even if you're playing a control deck, so it's not as good as I had hoped it was. Should you have marked for a land before the Pox? No, I think you should get the Priest just to make them crack the spell bomb. Because if you don't get Priest, like they don't have to crack their spell bomb, which is a problem. Alright, so now we're cold to untap lands. Cold to that too. Smallpox off the top, Liliana. Smallpox is the best one because it stops them from priesting. So 3-0 into 3-2 is kind of sad, but I am liking the deck. I think we're just gonna run it back. I played 2 leagues of this deck off stream. I lost playing for 5-0 both times. Deck is feeling good for sure to me. Ooh, Corpse Jack Menace. And some play points.